All right, so ever since my last Bitcoin analysis video, I was mentioning how I basically wanted to see Bitcoin reach into this weekly fair value gap right here, and then when we come down to the daily time frame, I believe we were like, somewhere here or something like that in my last video, and I was saying that I wanted to see it um, clear out these lows right here. So I was expecting that Bitcoin would clear out these lows and then revisit this weekly fair value gap. And I was talking about this daily order block, how it want to touch into this daily order block, which is obviously not what we got. Instead of all of that, this we had Bitcoin respect this daily order block right here, as it did the first time when it tapped 100K right here, and it did so again and rejected up. And so instead of clearing out these lows and reaching for the weekly fair value gap, we respected this daily order block right here and then pushed price higher. There's a daily fair value gap right there and then push price down. So I want to talk about this a little bit real quick on the 1 hour time frame. This is where we're so again, this move right here where Bitcoin tapped the daily order block and pushed price up is precisely right here. When it did that, we had ourselves so daily order block was tapped, coming up, coming back down. There's a 1 hour fair value gap right there. You could have been a buyer and then cleared out the buy side liquidity, completing the market maker buy model. And then we also had the rest of this. So let me just real quick explain the rest of all this. I forgot to mark out the daily fair value gap over there that it tapped. I'll just show you guys real quick what that looks like. But essentially, we tapped that daily order block. Okay. We tapped this daily order block right here, came up into this daily fair value gap right here, and then collapsed. Okay. So what this looks like essentially um, on the lower time frame, it looks like this, and I'll get into all of this right now. But before I do that, so again, keep in mind Bitcoin tapping into this daily fair value gap right there and then collapsing. That's this area right here and then collapse. Today, or yesterday, whatever, we had a daily inversion fair value gap that Bitcoin tapped into, respected, and then dropped about 3K. And this is what it looks like on the lower time frame. So this is a daily inversion fair value gap. We respected the 50% of it, and then we dropped. So accumulation, price took out the sell side liquidity, came up, took out the buy side liquidity, revisited this 1 hour fair value gap, revisited into this again, like I mentioned, the daily inversion fair value gap right there, and then dropped lower, taking out that sell side liquidity there. And then I removed this daily fair value gap level to show you guys this 1 hour inversion fair value gap level in line with the daily fair value gap level, how price was respecting that, and then it collapsed to take out the sell side liquidity there. So essentially on Bitcoin, what I want to see right now, this is where we're at, is are we going to reach down into this daily order block level? And if we do, are we going to reject away from it and push price higher, or are we just going to maybe dance around it for a little bit, or are we just going to disrespect it and go lower and actually go for these lows here that I was mentioning in my previous video? Are we going to tap into these lows right here and then essentially maybe into this weekly fair value gap and then the daily order block right here? Is that what we're going to get? I don't know. We would need to see how we react at this daily order block. Again, are we going to reject away from it and push price higher like we saw here? Or are we just going to collapse into these lows and into this weekly fair value gap and then we'll see what we get. So that's pretty much my analysis on Bitcoin. There's not much else to it, and that's it. Cheers.